Hello! Today in Art Club I am going to show you how to draw this mushroom fairy house, and all you will need is pens and pencils and a nice piece of paper. So I'll put it out here out of the way. Now you're going to start with doing the sort of trunk part of the house. So I usually start by doing 2 lines. Try not to make them too straight, it's nice for them to be curved. And then before you go any further, put in just some little bits here at the side, which are going to be the sort of mossy part where the mushroom's growing out. And then again, across the top, not a straight line, a sort of curved line. And then you're going to do a lovely big flying saucer type shape around there. And the top of the mushroom, which is going to go across the top, try to take it out like that, up, and then back round again. So there's your basic mushroom shape. And then I think it's a good idea to start putting in some of the details. There's going to be a little door there. There's our door shape, the handle, little bits of wood coming down there. Okay, Art Club. And 2 windows. One there and one here. And then to do the windows, you're going to do little cross shapes in the middle. So do those first, like a cross in each window, and then the curved bits going around the outside. Do you want to do one? Okay. Right, like that, like that. Here's our second window. And then the curved bits on the outside of the window frame. Around the outside of the door, I'm going to do these little lacy shapes, like that. If I go too fast, just like usual, just stop, pause the video, and catch up. And just around the outside of the mushroom, a few lines. The underneath of the mushroom. Okay. And then coming down from our door, I'll put some little flagstone steps, each one getting a little bit bigger. You can see those there. And then in the roof of our mushroom house, I'm going to put another window. So we know how to do these by now. The 4 sides of the cross shape, and then the rounded part. I'm going to put another one over this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these traditional shapes of the mushroom. They don't have to be complete circles. They can be slightly sort of squashed shape. And then we're going to have a little bent fairy chimney, like that, coming out of the mushroom house roof. Okay, so there's the beginning of our fairy mushroom house. I'm going to now put some plants around the outside. We're going to put a few daisies here and there. So we'll do daisies. We start with the middle part, like this, and then just draw your petals in around the middle. Okay. And again on this one, make sure they sort of tuck behind. And we're going to put one up here. on there, and I'll put a couple on this side as well. Here, I think I'm doing these nice little plants growing up like this. And a few leaves. It doesn't matter what order your plants are in. They don't have to be exactly the same as these, just put them in where it looks good and where you feel like it. Make sure you put some leaves here in the background behind the house as well. I'm going to put another little plant like this growing up here. Behind the house. Maybe a few little tendrils coming out like that always look good. And then I'm just going to put a few little stones here in our fairy path. I'm going to put a few little dots just around and about. Okay, and there is our little fairy dwelling house. So now I'm going to show you some of the colouring in techniques that you can use. I'm just going to use different coloured pencils for this. I always quite like the combination of a really thick black outline with the softness of the pencil colouring in, but you can use felt tips if you've got them and you prefer them, there's no problem. But it's quite nice, I quite like the way you can blend the colours with these. So if I show you, for instance, with here, I would do the bit close to the flower, darker shade of green. Now I'll do it quite quickly just to show you what I mean. And then get a lighter shade of green and go over the top. And then the yellow. Whoops, that's no good, is it? I'll try this one. This one here. And then you can see how building up the layers with a really soft pencil crayon makes them come to life. There we go. The middle of the daisies are going to be yellow. I'll do that with all of them while I'm here. There we go. And I'll just carry on doing some colouring in. My lighter green. nearly forgot these ones. There we go. And then yellow. The yellow is the bit that really brings it to life and makes it almost glowy. There we go. Right, with the daisies, you've got your lovely yellow centre part there. With a red, just go around bottom part here, almost like you were shading it in, like a sort of half moon type shadow. And that makes the yellow sort of pin out at you. And then get a pale blue. Whoops, I'm not having much luck with my pencils today, am I? I'll try this one. Pale blue, just around the inside bit there. And this one here at the top. Okay, we've got the darker blue. It'd be quite nice to put a bit more. You can always add layers of blue into the dark part of the green if you want to. The way you can blend these colours together. The darker one even. A purpley one. Don't be scared to experiment with colour and see. Whoops, keep getting that one back, don't I? This one. There we go. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how to colour in your daisies and make them come to life. I'm going to do some of the mushroom house now. I'm going to pretend this fairy's made a little wooden door. So I'm going to colour this in stripes. A lighter brown. And then I'm going to get my darker brown. Go over the top. These bits here, and again my trusty old yellow. To give it that little sparkly glow. A little yellow doorknob there. Okay, and these steps coming down. And this fairy's found some nice little pebbles to put here on the path. And then again, got our lighter colour there. I don't think I've got a darker grey, so I'll just use my dark brown again to shade in the same sort of side on each one. Make it look like you're stepping down. There we go. I'm just going to colour in these little window frames as well. And there. And there. And I'm going to get my grey back and start shading in the sides of the mushroom stalk. that side and this side. And just a little stripe sort of there down the middle. I'm going to use some blue just to give it the sort of shadows around the outside. There. And there. And some lovely dark purple here. But you use whatever colour works for you. Some people, when they're colouring in, they like to do flat chunks of colour, and if you're using felt tips, they will be lovely flat chunks of colour, but the crayons you can blend. Yellow down the middle, as if the sunlight's shining on it. I'm just going to get sort of blue, as if it's reflecting off the little bits of glass there. Okay, the underneath part, I'm going to go for a different grey, but I can't find that one at the moment, so I'll just use some brown. Try to follow the shape of the mushroom coming out, so rather than going around, you know it's growing out from the stalk, so it's useful to do your colouring the same way, from the middle to the outside. Here we go. Oh, here's my dark grey. So you can get all your colours ready beforehand. I should just keep them nicely in the packet, shouldn't I? Or just scattering them around, but there you go. Okay, there's our underneath part of our mushroom. And now for the window frames that are peeping through the mushroom roof, I'm going to go for the same dark brown colour here. You feel free to experiment, use what you've got. Always go for all the colours of the rainbow. Okay, now the red, lovely traditional mushroom colour of these types of mushrooms, which are called the fly agaric ones. Most of them are really quite poisonous, so if you ever see a red mushroom with white dots, don't touch it, let it be. I'm going to colour in all around the outside and the middle of my mushroom house roof. Sometimes I leave some bits of it white, but for this one I'm just going to colour the whole thing in a block because that lovely rich red colour of the roof. And then, okay, I'm going to have a nice bright red, and then I'm going to get another darker shade of red, a sort of burgundy one, and fill in around the edges here. So you're imagining that the sun is shining down on the mushroom. We're again going to go around the edges to make it sort of stand out, both sides. build up those layers of colour. And I think, oh yeah, I've got a sort of orangey, hopefully that's okay, sort of orangey one just to blend in a little lighter colour here, where the sun's shining down in the middle. A bit more of my red here, I think. There we go. Lovely, and then our trusty old yellow to give it that golden glow. And I'm actually going to paint a little bit of yellow on here as well, just pressing really lightly. There we go. There's our mushroom. And again, these little bits here, blue, our fairy windows. Okay. Now, of course, your colour these days isn't the same as those ones. I'll do those in a minute. I'm just going to show you this mossy part here, which will give it ground. I'm going to go for, I think this one is sort of olivey green, sort of mossy ground here. You can see that bit there. I'm colouring this quite quickly just to show you how I would do it, but you take your time, do your colouring nice and slowly and mindfully, just use it as a time to relax, calm your brain, and just don't worry about anything else other than doing a bit of colouring in. It's very relaxing. I'm going to put, you know me, I'm not going to leave it with just one colour. I'm going to put in a bit more there in the background. Okay, you could just add a bit of green. You could, if you want to, build up your background behind the fairy house as well. Either just with more plants or the blue sky if you want to. I'm just going to put a bit of green here behind. Use that pencil quite a lot, look at that. Your favourites. Whoops! There we go. Never mind, I shall go for this one instead. I'll sharpen them all up later. really is worth getting a really nice pack of colouring pencils. If you get the more expensive makes, they do cost a bit more, but they last a lot longer, and you can blend the colours much more effectively because they're a bit softer. If you've got a birthday coming up, it's a good thing to ask for. Okay, I'm just going to do the finishing touches then to these daisies. Remember, we do our little half moon red there and there, and then pale blue shadow around the centre. Okay, and then our last few leaves here. Dark green middle. And a lighter green. And yellow. And I've got these little stones here. I'll do these just around little bits of gravel. And there we have our little fairy mushroom house. To say happy May Day to you. Okay, see you next time. Bye.